Alright, y'all, back with more statue detailing. It is time for Mr. Logan to get some cleaning. I don't know how much you can see, but he is pretty dusty. This one was in the comic room with a closed door during reconstruction, so it's just regular dust pretty much. I don't think that's really much of drywall dust, but just to go over the process, the bulk is brushed off with the big soft brush. Then I follow up with the smaller brush really quickly, and then I will get into some of the nooks and crannies and stuff with the Q-tips, and then from there, the Q-tip will be sprayed with distilled water out of this fancy spray bottle. This is literally just plain water, no cleaners, no nothing. Told y'all that before. And a microfiber towel. So let's get started here. Get all of this crappy dust off of uh, Mr. Logan. Oh, look at that. So hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everybody is safe and not sick, but you know, we're in uh, we're in we're in some kind of pandemic at the moment, so I don't really care what your stance is on it. I just want people to not be sick. Okay? Okay. So try to get down into, well, I guess we can use the small brush for that. But right now I'm just knocking off some of the big dusty bits off of Mr. Wolverine here. And then we switch over to that little guy, and we can get into some of the smaller areas here in between his claws, which are super straight and level. And if you think anything else, I don't know what you're talking about. Behind his ears, you want to get down in here if y'all can see that. This is statue detailing, so I would like to get as much off as I can. And then of course down into his boots, so any dust or any dirt or any crap like that comes off. You want to dig into the back of his shoe or his boot or whatever you want to call it, and then start working on some of these smaller spaces in here. Just get that nice and cleaned out. Try not to break the brush by having a death grip on it. And that should be good for that brush. And then take out my phone. Oops, not take a picture. Make sure this thing is on silent. Yes, y'all just saw my pattern. I do not care. I really don't. But this phone needs to be silent. All of it. Go away. So that is pretty much it for the phone. Now we can move on to spraying water onto the Q-tip. Now this, I use the Q-tip for kind of getting inside some of these areas to remove any dust or dirt or anything. Sometimes if they're really dirty, you can actually see on the Q-tip that it indeed does carry some kind of dirt. You gotta get weird with it. You gotta wash people's crotches. You gotta get into the nooks and crannies. You gotta get behind the feet. Get into the back of his boots here. Make sure you get into the hands if you can, and into any little creases and crevices and stuff inside his stand here that may be holding on to something. This one, it's got a little bit, if y'all can see that on there, just a few. It's kind of dingy. It's not real dingy, just kind of dingy. So we get into these little nooks and crannies in these areas. We're picking up something. It's all just kind of tedious, kind of, a lot of times you just kind of have to slow down and take your time. You don't want to, I mean, I'm going pretty quickly. These aren't hilariously dirty. They're just, it's more dust from when the house went through reconstruction after the freeze in 2021. But I'm just trying to clean all this off. And so for the last step, I take the small brush again, of course. And then all the places that I put any kind of that wet Q-tip, I use this small brush as a drying towel, basically. So it helps to not leave any water behind. I really don't want to do that. It is distilled water. It's a 0 parts per million type of deal. It should not be leaving behind any kind of water spotting, but of course I do not want to take that chance. I would rather have a clean and non-spotted collection if I can absolutely help it. So that's it for Captain Logan, for the brown suit Wolverine from Marvel Gallery, and we will be moving on to the next one. See y'all later.